All right, 8th grade, here's one of the two follow-up videos on the Inn of Lost Time. This one talking about framing devices and meta-narratives. Now, for those of you who don't know, and let's try and center that a little better, these are both present in this story. So a framing device sets up a story as being told from another perspective. If, for example, you think about the movie Disney's Aladdin, it opens with you arriving into town with this merchant, and he's telling you the story of this lamp. It once changed the course of a young man's life. You got it right there. That is a framing device. You are being told the story by this merchant. Aladdin is not a story you are just observing. You are being told that story by the merchant. Contrast, you also have Star Wars, which opens at the start of every movie a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And then John Williams' triumphant score blasts your eardrums out as everyone in the theater is excited to see what's going on in Star Wars. Answer, there's probably going to be a war. It's going to be in space. There's probably going to be some force involved. Any movie that opens with a storybook opening and tells you once upon a time, that's a framing device. A meta-narrative is a subset of a framing device. So all meta-narratives are framing devices, but not all framing devices are meta-narratives. Okay? A meta-narrative is a story within a story. So you've started telling a story, and then someone else starts telling a story inside that story. That is a meta-narrative. Then they're framed, but you can see this in William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Hamlet, it's a play. Hamlet, to try and figure out whether his uncle committed the murder of his father, has a play about a murder of a father in the story. So there is a play inside of a play. There is a meta-narrative. That specifically is a meta-drama, a drama within a drama, coming from all these root words. Straightforward. So both of these are present in the Inn of Lost Time. So the bedtime story of Umashiro Taro is framed as being a bedtime story, but then it's a meta-narrative as it is a story within a story. Likewise, Zenta frames his own story about what happened in the Inn of Lost Time. But again, meta-narrative, because we are told a story within a story. The overarching story is about these two Ronin being at this farmhouse and what is going on there. And then the follow-up to what happened in Zenta's story. Now, the other thing you should know about this is Sengoku Japan. Not to be confused with Son Goku, the main character from Dragon Ball Z. No, Sengoku is the period. It's also called the Warring States period. Not to be confused with the Warring States period that happens in China a few hundred years before this. In this time, Japan was not united, but was basically governed by all sorts of daimyos who are at war with each other constantly. And there's all sorts of disruption of powers. You can see right here, here's a map in 1517. And seeing that this period went on for a long time, we're talking almost 150 years. We have clans warring back and forth, families going back and forth, all sorts of, taking over, until the Tokugawas are able to take over and unite power in 1615. That said, when your boss gets fired as a samurai, you're supposed to commit seppuku, which you call as a ritualized suicide, because you failed your honor by the code of Bushido. Many didn't do that. They instead just became unemployed wandering ronin. Remember, those are masterless samurai, and would work for whoever has the money. And as a result, even though they're at the bottom of society, you had tons of merchants who became powerful because they had money to hire ronin as mercenaries and protect themselves and their assets. All of these are important things you need to know for when we inevitably have a quiz or a test about this. So, we'll talk to you a little more in the next one, 8th grade, but this is the additional sort of background and literary information on the Inn of Lost Time. Check the other video for a plot summary of it. Take care.